Lots of ribbon work flowers are made up of different stitches put together, and this iris here is one of those. I'm going to show you how to do that. So the main flower is worked in a fly stitch. So I'm going to use this nice purple ribbon here, nice deep purple. So this is 7mm wide, this ribbon. I've got my knot in the end and I fastened it to my needle. And then I've just marked on where I want my 3 flowers to sit. Bring groups of 3 is always most pleasing. So I'm going to come up and down quite close to each other. And form a loop. So that will form the basis of the petal. So the loop is going upwards. If you've worked fly stitch before, you've probably worked it that way, which is the way you'd normally work it, but we're going to do it upside down now. So then I'm going to come up inside that loop, kind of distance away. And just to tension this one, make sure you just pull that ribbon away from you so you're not closing up that loop of ribbon. Just take up the tension. You don't want this too tight because you want this to be a nice flower shape. That's about right. And then I'm just going to take that ribbon down the other side of my loop. So there's my loop. I'm just going to take it down this side. Guide it down and catch that loop down. Okay, so that's the top of my flower, and this is the magic bit with this flower. Just going to come about there. I guess that's just in line with the bottom. And I'm going to slide it underneath this loop here. Try to keep your ribbon nice and wide for this. There we go. Underneath there, and then down below the bottom of the loop here. That will form the second part of my flower. And there you can see your iris shape. So these are the petals that stand upright. These are the ones that flop over to the side. So quite simple, but just how you put them together gives you the different shapes. So let's do a couple more of those. Do a slightly smaller one if you can. So up and down next to each other, a little gap, form a loop, up inside that loop, tension away from yourself, just pull up the loop. Not too tightly for this. Just going to undo that touch. There we go. Down the other side of the loop just to finish that part off. There's the top of my flower. And then we'll make the petals that curl over. So come up kind of underneath where you started that loop really. Just make sure your ribbon's nice and flat. Underneath that loop, not going through the fabric at all at this point, just going underneath the ribbon. Keep it nice and loose, just untwist that if you need to. And then down directly below that second part of the loop. You can just adjust, so that's my second one, so we'll get one more in up here. One's just pulled a little bit tight, so you can just loosen that off again. There we go. Make your loop up inside. Yeah, just be careful when you pull it tight because it can pull on that previous flower. Down the other side, secure the loop in place and then put those other petals in. These work much better if you have these petals really loose, but it does mean it just pulls on the previous one you did if you're not careful. So just be extra careful this time with your tension that you don't distort the previous one. Let's just take that in a little bit this time, just for a bit of difference. There we go. And again, you can just finish that off on the back. So that's the flowers, the iris flowers, made using a fly stitch. So we'll come and put the stems in now. I'll do that in a separate video though, so just pop over and look at the twisted stem video for the rest of this flower.